All right, so we are joined from Scottsdale, Arizona by Mike Johns, the founder of Digital Mind State AI Futurist. We thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule today. I've got a room full
Yeah.
here with me at Belma Jackson High School. This is for our entrepreneurship class, and we're recording this for all of our friends in Madison County schools, Madison Central High School, Ridgeland High School, Germantown High School, the Academic Options Center, and our YouTube channel. So thank you so much for taking some time for us today.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much for having me. Look forward to talking to your students.
Awesome. Now, obviously, you're in some super cool stuff. You've worked with some great companies, and obviously, we're going to hear the Waymo story. But just give us a little background. You went to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, there in
Yep.
Vegas, and then you've gone on and really on the cutting edge on a lot of technology now. So, just give us a little background of your college experience and how that led you to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely. So I went to UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, majored in entertainment marketing, and that's a big deal there for Las Vegas. Just makes sense. Went on from there. I've always been a tech nerd. I'm probably the coolest tech nerd that you're gonna meet with a whole lot of street creds from the streets of LA, West Side gang gang. That's what it is. Um, from there, basically, my first situation happened right out of right out of UNLV. I went on to be the marketing director for Larry Flint's Rap Page magazine. Rap Page magazine, which was West Coast version of Source magazine. This is going back in the day and all that good stuff. But ringtones led way to T-Mobile reaching out saying, "Hey, we got this device called the T-Mobile Sidekick, and we want to leverage your relationship with the artists that you know to create ringtones for the device."
Wow.
Never look back from there because that skyrocketed in the millions. That was before things went viral. Before the word viral, it was all about ringtones. What was the number one ringtones? How fast
I
that
remember.
thing sold. And so I was at the forefront of that, had made a lot of money and success with that. And then that spiraled into the progression of social media, the progression of mobile apps. Then all of a sudden we got into um, blockchain technology, VR, virtual reality, augmented reality. Augmented reality led way to blockchain technology. Then COVID hit. Then we got into the NFTs after the stimulus check. Then people had this sort of money that now all of a sudden you're involved in NFT arts. Arts led way to music and a whole new world of possibilities, right? Digital assets. And then from there, we're now at this new grand frontier called AI. But keep in mind, AI has been around for way back, but now all of a sudden, thanks to Chat GPT, uh, things are happening, movements are happening, serious disruptions are happening, not just from the West Coast to the East Coast, but in all the way in Mississippi. And that's what I really love to talk to you guys about because I'm really on this campaign called Make America Smart with AI. And it's not just about the West Coast, the East Coast, Chicago, and all those areas. It's about areas like Mississippi. How about that? The Delta, and we understand what's going on there. The hurdles there is a lot different than a lot of other parts in the U.S. I almost, so I'm just really honored to be here.
And we're super glad to have you. Now, I think it's cool. I think a lot of people don't understand that AI touches every industry. And I know you've worked with some companies that have nothing to do with AI, but it was something that they wanted to implement not only for their interface, their websites, for their apps, for their user experience, but just to reach, to create algorithms to have marketing strategy. So just talk a little bit about the companies that you've worked with and how AI is used by them every day, and they're not even AI companies.
Right. The slogan right now is either you're AI or you die. And so if you're not integrating AI right now, you're not in the mix. Who do you still use whiteout?
No, I cannot
Right.
remember the last time I used whiteout.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about here, right? Everything, the progression of where we are is now a world where AI is the tool, AI is the agent, AI is your buddy. your companion. It thinks for you, or as we say in tech, it reasons for you. And what's really gangsters when it has the ability to predict for you. Greg, I know what you're going to do at 3 o'clock in 2027 on May 5th. How about that? I booked your flight before you even knew that you were going to fly on that day. I get the awesome opportunity to work with great thought leaders that do those type of things. But, you know, as it is Black History Month, I do want to say, in the words of Michael Jackson, do you remember the time? So I know who built the pyramids too. I'm clear on history and his story, so it's nothing new, and we know who's at the forefront. And when you noted, you know, hey, looking at people of color that are in AI, we were the algorithm to begin with. We were the IP to begin with. We still are. Some people have to have the glasses on to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you mentioned about how AI is the future, and you got into a field that you know is the future. You're working with companies that are using AI,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like a new industry that a lot of people aren't thinking about. But one thing that I talk about, and I beat this like a dead horse, is you can have a great idea, you can have your finances in order, but if you don't have the communication and marketing and sales skills, all that is for nothing, because uh, we do a lot of presentations in here, and it's not about making people nervous, but it's about having those skills that set people apart. Being able
Correct.
to walk in a room and introduce yourself and be confident. Being able to have a project and present it to people that may not understand about that project. Being able to show a customer why you're better than the competitor. So even though you have all the technical skills, how important are those other skills when it comes to setting yourself apart in business?
So right now, you know, in the future of work is what you're saying to me. That's what I'm buzzing with. In the future of work, it's really about having the ability to create, imaginate, to then innovate. Create, imaginate, innovate. Maybe it's imagine, then create, innovate. However you want to put it together. However you want to put the sandwich together. But those are that's really the basics, and that's really the value add as we live and move forward in an autonomous world, an AI powered world where critical thinking is being removed, and so the ability to play is so powerful. Play is the new education. Play, human interactions, discoveries. That's the new education. And from there, I like to say this, and this is for Mississippi, MOB, mind your business, or mind your business. Mind your business is your thought discovery, Greg. That's your thought discovery. Minding your business, MINE, is the ability to do the research necessary to create a sustainable business right there in Mississippi. How about that?
Yeah.
Gee, West Side
Now,
LA. I'm in Scottsdale for the PGA golf, but don't get it twisted. We live from LA. That part. Come on now. It's energy.
absolutely. Now, obviously, and we mentioned this Black History Month. We don't see a lot of black men in the AI world. So, what drove you to get into a field that there was not a lot of people that look like you in?
So again, do you remember the time we built the pyramids? I see a lot of black people. It's where you sit. You're there in Mississippi, so your viewpoint is a lot different. And maybe that's what needs to be magnified. And that's why I'm on your
Yeah.
platform to say, hey, we need to change that, because there's a lot of them out there there's a
Wow.
lot of people of color doing awesome things. And sadly, what you remind me of is that in 2025, maybe we're going to see a continuum of the hidden secret because Greg doesn't know. How about that?
I believe it.
Right? You didn't know who the black women that were behind NASA and taking us into outer space. So yeah, just hearing you say that, then how would you know about black people that are doing algorithmic things to the world of AI? And
Yeah, we could not have gone to the moon
they're in
without
the
them.
they're in the fatherland Africa. They're in Kenya. They're in Nigeria doing grand things that are at UN levels. You probably don't hear about it because remember how the conversation started, history versus his story. So, of course, how do I want you to know? Maybe I don't want you to know that. That goes right back to the Hollywood movies that you see right there in Mississippi, and you only see one Denzel Washington. Well, I guess I'm your Denzel, Greg. How
Hey,
about
and you do kind of favor him.
that?
Now, obviously, even if somebody's not interested in AI, but they still want to start a business,
Okay.
we've had a lot of students come out of this class and start businesses, even as side hustles.
Yes.
But we've had a few full-time entrepreneurs as well, and a lot of times I'll see some of their early marketing. It's okay, it's not bad, but I'll see their prices, and the first thing I say is, "You're not charging enough." And it is such a hard mindset to get out of when you're 17, 18 years old to still think like a teenager. You have to think about, what can I offer that will allow me to charge more? What can I do just a little bit different that will allow me to charge a lot more? So, what are some ways that you can successfully price a product and still offer that perceived value to a customer?
I love the perceived value question because in everything that we do in life, what is the value that you bring?
Yep.
You must be the value. What is your unique value proposition? And with that, then you have a price tag that you dictate. That could be the teacher, right? Even education needs a disruption. And that's what I love about Elon Musk and kind of some of the forward thinkers that are really shaking it up for the state of affairs in education. But when to get to your question, be the value proposition, then you're in control. If you are not the value proposition, you're not in control.
Yeah, and along those same lines, we have other kids that are like, "Look, this stuff's interesting, but I don't ever want to take on the stress or the financial risk of being an entrepreneur." Or some females will say, "I want to be a mom. I want to be able to get off at 5 o'clock every day and be able to get my kids." And that's fine. I mean, everybody's family aspirations are different. Everybody's stress aspirations are different. But what we said before we started recording, no, thinking like an entrepreneur can make you a fantastic employee, because with you being somebody that hires people, yeah, they're not going to, they don't want to put their money on the line. They don't want to have the 7 days a week. But if they're thinking like an entrepreneur and thinking like a business person, they're always going to be able to find a place in a company. So why are these entrepreneurial skills so important just to be a great employee?
Well, number one, you have to have the hunger. Everybody, for the culture, one of the things that I'll say for Mississippi, we all want to be a boss. Do you want to pay the costs? It costs to boss. Snoop Dogg said that, and he got Mississippi bloodlines. You got to really know that you got to put in that work. We love to be in control. We love the spotlight, especially in this Instagram, TikTok world, and you can really post it out there, but you got to put in that work. If everybody's doing 40 hours a week, you're definitely doing about 80 hours a week. We live in a capitalism society. So to be able to be an entrepreneur, first of all, is a luxury. When you go to other parts of the globe, you don't have that ability. You're working in the field, you're doing the dad's job, continuing on what the family does. So to be an entrepreneur is really a luxury. And in that luxury, it means putting in the work. And the work is pretty much extraordinary. It's on LeBron James, it's on Michael Jordan level, Kobe Bryant level, it's on Michael Phelps level, it's on that type of extraordinaire. To be an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur, and today with AI, it's the difference between going from ordinary to extraordinary. And that's what we should talk about, ordinary versus extraordinary. So when I talk about our Make America Smart with AI movement, and really doing this on a grassroots level, looking at people, students and schools across this great country, it's a school like yours, sir, that we want to make sure that they have the tools to move from ordinary to extraordinary to do their job, right? because that goes right back to the value that you bring. And if he that knows AI is better than the one that doesn't, that's who's going to have the job. And that will impact Mississippi the same way it does New York, the same way it does Chicago, LA. Everything is, there's something that I call the digital virus. And when you first saw the pandemic, you saw it on TV. It was over there. It was over there. Then, as time progressed on, it became closer, 6 degrees of separation. Then all of a sudden, the mass. Well, you might want to think about that with the integration of AI in all capacities of where humanity sits today. And that includes the great state of Mississippi. You heard it here first, Mike Johns, .co. You learn all about it right there. Eee.
Now, one thing I did want to talk about because I have three young men in here that are in our IT program
Yes.
at our school district, where they'll be walking out of high school with IT certifications.
Come on
Now,
now.
yeah, it's a great
IT
program. My good friend
certification.
Tiffany
I
Turnage
love
over there
that.
at my good friend Tiffany Turnage over there at our career center. But if
Okay.
somebody wanted to get into the tech field,
Yes.
would they necessarily need to go to college to do so?
Excellent question, Greg. I like that. No. And that's a part of the future and the disruption of education. No. Education has to embrace that. Let me tell you something, Greg. One of the things that I did was challenge Arizona State, who leads in as the #1 school for innovation. Well, why do I need to go to college, pay a college tuition when I can be an influencer and make good money, real good money, but in a capitalist world, right? That's what we said earlier in this conversation. ASU had to honor that. Like, that is innovation. And so I ended up working in producing the future of work for ASU and bringing in this blended learning, not just from the textbook or the classroom, but here are the movers and shakers in the real world that do it. We have to understand it. That's the future of education, mixing it up together. So having your platform, letting students meet real timers that are doing it at epic scales, that's how we're going to continue to make America great, of all colors.
Yeah, and then also I always ask that to tech entrepreneurs
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not discouraging anybody to go to college. If that's their dream, they need to do it. But if they are kind of on the fence and say, "Look, my family can't afford it. I don't want to do 4 years, but I can get certified to do XYZ,"
You're not
they can find a
limited to
place.
college to be successful.
I agree. But with those skills and certifications, they could find a place in a company like yours.
Absolutely. Certifications, you're in the future of education, who's the most leanest are your community college. So right after you get out of your high school, going to a community college, getting your certification, you're already in the game right there.
Big time. And all three of those guys are really focused on those IT certs. And we got some questions about that from them we'll get to in a second. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, we got to hear the story from the man. A few weeks ago, you
Yes.
made international news
Mm-hmm.
all over the world because you were in a Waymo self-driving taxi at the Scottsdale, Arizona airport, and you were stuck.
Yes.
So take us through what happened and what that experience was like for an AI professional to have an AI glitch almost throw a huge monkey wrench in your entire schedule. So obviously we've seen the clip, but just tell us your perspective and what really happened.
Man, so I'm literally dropping off a Hertz rental and I need to go ahead and either get a Lyft or Uber or Waymo to get to Sky Harbor Airport to then get to LAX. And being that I've ridden Waymo one time prior on a short ride, hey, I'm going to do it again this time. Calculated play, get in the Waymo and enjoy the experience, all that good stuff. I get into the Waymo vehicle. The Waymo vehicle is doing something totally different. I get in, luggage in, strap up, it goes in a circle. It goes in a circle, and I'm like, all right, what? We should be finding out a way. And the crazy thing is, I'm not talking to anyone. There's no one else in this car. It's the ghost in the machine. Lap one is like, okay. Lap two, I'm thinking it's going to figure itself out, or did I just get pranked? Like two and a half, three. How is this happening to me? Because to your point, I work in tech. This is super odd. Is somebody pulling a prank on me? No. Then because of the distance of the short circle, there's that nausea feeling. That's what I didn't like. And then finally, you hear Waymo's fake human getting on the phone, getting on the speaker, talking about. We realize that the car is going in circles and we're trying to fix it. And as a result, we're going to probably need your phone to fix this. What the matter is between the control tower and you in this vehicle, not my phone. But hey, to get through this, I had to use my phone to get there. An auto reset happened somehow, some way. Waymo was able to fix and then take me to the airport. Flight was delayed, and I was able to catch my flight.
Wow. And and then and when the people that see this later, we'll send the clip with them if they haven't seen it. It is you're it was almost one of those things where you were trying to laugh just to keep from crying because you were just like, how can this be happening to me?
Right. How could this be happening? That was it. That was the crazy part. But then, even more, the kind of thing that has opened up Pandora's box here is how safe are autonomous vehicles? Are we ready? And all it takes is one ride.
There you go. Well, I do have some questions, and I'll get to as many of these as I can, but these are very good. This first one is Edward Flowers. He's a member of our band, and he asked, "Do you think with the growth and future applications of AI that human contribution will ever become obsolete?"
Human computation?
Contribution.
That's an excellent question. So, what I will say to that is if we do not maintain governance, then that will be the outcome. If we do not maintain governance in all things that we do, then yes, that will be the outcome. And let me go deeper. As I'm in this autonomous situation, one of your safe spots for being a human, Greg, is being in a car, the driving experience. The first girl that I kissed was in a car, listening to certain music that you couldn't listen to in the house, you listened to in the car as a teenager. That was a human experience. And there's a manufacturer by the name of Volkswagen. Uh-oh, did I say it? Volkswagen that we're working with. You heard it here exclusive. Um, that wants to keep the human factor alive in the driving experience. And that, yes, we're going to get into the autonomous, but just like going to church, that's a human safe zone. So I love that question. Next.
This is Derek Hutchins, one of our football players, and he asked, "What has been the biggest inspiration to keep you moving in your career?"
To keep what in my career?
Keep moving.
Technology and humanity. Convergence of technology and humanity. Sci-fi is becoming science reality. Sci-fi is now science fact. Maybe we're looking at the end of death. Maybe we're looking at beyond consciousness. Maybe we're looking at robot companionship. Maybe we're looking at cyborgs to transhumanism. Maybe we're going to get to a level 4 and become gods ourselves, or if we're not already. Maybe the program will be reprogrammed. Everything that you ever knew needs to be rewritten. Maybe.
Absolutely. Well, I like this one. This is to Davian Smith. Hey, he's one of our students that's in our IT program. And he
Yes.
asked, and he's a member of our band as well. And he asked, I'm a part of the IT program. So, what
Mhm.
areas of IT do you think I should focus on after I graduate?
Cybersecurity, AI, cybersecurity. If you're getting into AI, if you're in IT, yeah, cybersecurity off the back. Cybersecurity. Make your money.
Yeah, big time, and that's going to be in every industry. And then
Mhm.
I had a speaker earlier today from the UK that's predicting, in just in North America, in the
Mhm.
next 5 years, there's going to be 1.5 million new cybersecurity jobs.
Yeah, that's about right. The future of work, a new necessity, perhaps a new police department.
Yeah, I like this one. This is Christopher Mitchell, one of our basketball players, and he asked, "Are there any other businesses that you would like to start other than your AI business?"
Very good question. Oh my gosh, I like that one. Water, the bare essential. Upscale water, 9.5 pH balanced water. That part. Yep.
Wow, I got time for two
What is the
more.
essential for the human operating system?
Yeah, that it is.
Mm-hmm.
I got time for two more. This is Herbert Carmichael. He's in 10th grade. Number one, he's another one of our IT students. And he asked, "What is your favorite type of AI to make, and what made you so interested in that area?"
Anything that moves at scale. So right now, I'm working with a new startup that's focusing in on the future of communication. And if you're familiar with WhatsApp, Telegram, applications like that, this is a new platform that removes the cloud. Anything that is about the furtherance of humanity and making the world efficient and or that can make the world better. So that's what I'm passionate about. I hope that answers the question. And I'd add a layer of whipped cream and cherry on top is that I want to move with a serious focus on AI and homelessness, AI and poverty, AI and racism. Not AI for good in that bandwagon, but AI for those specific things that you've never heard, targeted.
Absolutely. Well, I got time for one more. This is Jordan Job, also 10th grade, one of our football players. And he asked, when you were stuck in the Waymo, what was the first thing that went through your mind, and were you scared?
First thing that went through my mind was, again, is this really happening? Is this really happening to me? I was stunned on that, and then scared would have been probably around the seventh or eighth time because now I have to figure out what do I need to do to get out this vehicle, kick the windows, whatever, all that good stuff, and then how do I land? All that would have been was being factored in, but scared, no, just calm and trying to decipher. That calm is the best approach to any matter. So it was a calm matter.
Absolutely. Well, we're almost out of time, and we thank you so much for joining us. But a couple things before we go. First of all, digitalmindstate.com is your website. All your social
Yeah.
medias are on there,
Mhm.
posting really cool stuff. They can see some of the things you've worked with. So, any other places they can find you to get information on Digital Mind State?
Digital Mindset, that's the website right there. Personal website is mikejohns.ceo. Otherwise, you can find me like you did, Greg, on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where you want to be as entrepreneurs of all your social platforms. That's where you can network with other thought leaders, entrepreneurs, players in the game, and make business.
Now, the last thing before we go, obviously, and we mentioned that this is Black History Month, so it's just so great to see a great Black leader like yourself doing amazing things. But like we said, and I know they think I'm beating a dead horse, but I just think this cannot be talked about enough. Why is it so important that we have more successful Black men in our communities?
It's the balance of things. To understand that question is to understand why we have to read the history of white people. Because at the end of the day, and this is again, uh, education and where you sit is very important. So I do encourage the same way that question is asked is the same way that you yourself, the person that asked the question, should read the history of white people that tells you all the various tribes. Most white people don't even know the difference between an Anglo or a Saxon and where those are from and how that relates to them. Most white people don't even know where the Caucasus Mountains are and what the relationship between that and the Caucasian is. Most white people don't even know why they're called the word white here in America versus in the other countries. Everywhere else on the planet Earth, are referred to for their countries, be it German, be it Italian. So to understand the question that you pose from an American standpoint is to say that the importance of that is to say that you have balance. Diversity is what makes America great. Diversity is what America is greatest and can remain great in by embracing other cultures and other thought ideas, be it India, be it Jamaica, be it, because when you say the word black, you're not saying the word um, British. Look at the person in the mirror. You're saying the word, you got to look at the complexities of that. The person Africa is 50 plus countries, all with their own minds. And their place, South Africa alone, can consume most of America. So it's a lot to that question. Getting back to that question, it goes back to understand the purpose of essence. If he or she was the ones that built the pyramids, then yes, it's important for today that their contributions are given, not just in the world of sports, but in the world of science that they made in the begin with. Not in the world of music, but in the science and in the political arenas that they did, in the military arenas that they did from way back. Remember, we just got through giving his flowers, General Lloyd Austin, U.S. Secretary of State, was a black man. Under the Biden administration, there are many black generals that are defenders of this country on all aspects. And so it's the media and where the media wants to shine its light to keep people thinking in Mississippi one way and people in California another.
No, I agree 100% on that. But again, we thank you so much for joining us on your busy schedule, all the way from Scottsdale, Arizona, the founder of Digital Mind State, AI Futurist, Mike Johns. We thank you so much for taking time for us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care. Do we get a photo? We got to do a photo real quick.
Oh, I got a bunch of them.
You got some photos?
Yeah, I got a bunch of them.
Okay, perfect, man. Send those. Send those on you're gonna send them on LinkedIn?
Yep, I can here in a minute.
All right, perfect, man. Thank you so much for
I'll
having
talk to
me.
you soon, buddy.
All right,
No
take
problem.
care.